Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The second item is a presentation by Ultrasight with regards to a dog park proposal. You guys would, yes, please. If you would speak into the mic, state your name and Millicent.
Mike Mull, General Manager, Ultrasight.
Hi, I'm Mandy Creek. I'm the HR manager at Ultrasight.
She'll hand out the hard copies of the presentation. That's
Perfect. It's different.
Nope, they're all the same. One just colored. Oh, you guys already have- Yeah.
All right, so appreciate the invite to come in, and certainly Whitney Shields has done a lot of work with some in proposing some use of some property. Kyle and others were in the visit, Mayor as well. So just flip to page 2. At least what was decided or at least discussed was a 100-foot by 150-foot area that would accommodate a large and small fenced in dog park area. And that's kind of the overview, which again sets in behind the Dollar General. With respect to the large dog park area, which would be half of that, we've got some product that are just proposed to be laid out in that space, kind of in uniform and in distance spaced, I guess, appropriately from each other. Now it's not dimensioned here, but at least the product is kind of placed in the area itself. We've shown pictures, and again, we've got catalogs. I think that some may already have. We've got pictures of some of the products that would be what we call our agility equipment that could be used in this space and used quite frequently across the country as dog parks have become extremely popular, almost overtaking playgrounds, if you will, believe it or not. But then the next page again just shows some more product, and again with catalog, I can kind of draw the actual names of these products back to the layouts. You flip to the page of the small dog area, kind of the same thing. For simplicity, that space was just kind of split in half, so that 150-foot length split in half, so 75 by 100 respectively. Each space would also have a safe dog entry, what they call it, so that you can kind of enter into a little fenced area, unleash your dog, and then open that second gate, kind of as an you might find at a grocery store or something. You enter one, and then you got a space, and then the next door opens. That way, again, it just prevents any dog from running free, if you will, and so forth. So each of the spaces would accommodate the safe space entry. Again, just a lot more pictures with respect to what Whitney did lay out in these spaces. So you kind of have a picture with some of the products as you maybe go through the catalog. Again, getting into the amenities page of that, where we've got pet waste stations, a welcome sign with some of the rules and guidelines around use of the space, bench, waste receptacles, again, just for trash pickup and also people comfort, right? Certainly, Whitney did a great job also just kind of thinking ahead that, there'd be kind of a phase 1 proposal, phase 2, but I'm on the page. I'm sorry, I don't have the pages numbered, but phase 2 and beyond would be, some upgrade to some turf, some things that wear better than just, your grass and so forth, other drainage, drinking fountains, and also tables with shade as an example. Again, shade is a big deal, especially in this time of year, right, in this part of the country, and in other parts. But I'm now at the cost summary page, and you can see the total cost of the project there. And again, these are estimates. These could be probably very good budgetary numbers, if you will. But yes, estimate at about $41,000. Okay. If you go over to the second column there, the large dog area down through the waste stations times 3. That's product that would be entirely donated by Ultrasight. Okay. You can see that the mulch around the product and also the chain link fencing Ultra Sight's also proposing that we would split again with the city 50% of that. So, so in that third column to the far right, if you will, it really kind of amounts to about $6,500 plus utilities in line for a trail to get to the dog park area from the city's portion of that. The rest then would be fundraisers that Ultra Sight and the employees would work, feverishly to do trivia nights and other things, right, to help fund this. So with that, we do have some budgetary numbers for a phase 2. Again, just very kind of budgetary numbers, as I've said now a few times. We did have a lot of success going to the next page with respect to fundraising. We did a trivia night back in 2023 for the Randolph County Humane Society, and that one night raised $5,000. So again, not knowing the time frame of a project like this, certainly we as a team at Ultra Sight are willing to begin some fundraising activities as early as this fall, and certainly would work with the appropriate team on the board to facilitate or at least understand kind of what we're doing and when we're doing it and all those kind of things. So we would stay in real close communication. Got a few statistics again from a Ultra Sight, from a Playcore company. We do a best practices around dog parks nationwide on either the actual space and other just facts. We pulled some information, but again, 48% of households own at least one dog, and 70% of that 48 have at least one. And you can see how it goes to at least 20% of that 48's got 2, and then 10% of that 48 has 3. So dogs pretty popular as well, as much as children are and kids, right? No doubt. At least from the people side of it, again, there's psychological conditions that reduce the psychological conditions, more likely to participate in other activities outdoors. And these are just benefits of dog parks with respect to the users themselves, the two-legged users. Enhance individual well-being, address physical inactivity and obesity, decrease risk of cardiovascular diseases, and adding whatever 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day, for those that count steps. Next page, why have a dog park? So with respect to what we've seen that property owners, 76% of property owners report, and these are like duplexes, if you will. It's not the duplexes, but single home apartment complexes and such. 76% of those property owners reported willingness to accommodate pets, but nationwide, only 8% actually do something about it. Renters with a fenced-in area for off-leash dogs at an apartment complex or such tend to stay about 10 months longer at those places, again, just for accommodating their animals. Pet friendliness ranks number 2 behind the cost in resident top 10 criteria for selecting a rental housing. And I know we're talking about city, but again, those are some facts across the nation. That's really it in a nutshell. I know I kind of breezed through that quickly, didn't want to take up a lot of time. But are there any questions with regard to the presentation?
What
Bill?
kind of time frame are you looking at here?
I'm not sure that maybe would be asked.
Like
guess
as
with
far
respect
as
to the
are you
infrastructure.
going to do some fundraising before you jump into this? Is that your plan?
Yeah, we could plan maybe.
I mean,
this
what
fall.
are you're looking for us if we would approve it
That's
once you
correct.
have the funds to do it? Is that,
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
So it could be next summer, next fall.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about the other phases? Do you see you guys being involved in those phases?
Probably lesser. Again, we really adamant, I guess, I'm adamant, but again, very encouraging, right, to find some space. And I think that at least the public, whether surveyed or not, would accept, a place for that off-leash dogs to get exercise and running and agility, et cetera. So, but yes, Bill, sometime this fall we would start, but I think we would just need a nod from the city to invest our time and energies in that, to do that. And I think that our team would be very successful in supporting that.
Mike,
mean,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The fundraising you talk about, would that help us offset our quote unquote $6,500 then? Or do you fundraise for your efforts to help offset your side of
That
the
would be the
fence?
6,500.
Oh, goodness. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yep,
thank
yep,
you.
because all the product is being donated
Okay.
by Ultrasite.
Jeremy, I got a question for you. I know this was discussed at Foundation. Is there any interest there that they would be interested in this in any fashion? Do
I
you
think
know?
so. I think we would definitely,
So
definitely look into
it's
it.
something that we need to work on and.
Yep, we would, I think we would entertain helping, raise funds and people donating to donate for it too.
Okay,
I think we would just need to know the particulars about how that, handle the money, right? I mean, as we would get that, we can decide or have other conversations around, do we donate that into the city? And then actually get a purchase order, from the city at zero cost for things or what, but just again, there's a transfer of, the money and or what, so just not familiar with that part of it.
And I mean, right now, it's being farmed till the end of the year. Is that how long this lease is
The
for?
lease technically, I think is, if I remember looking at it right, was 1/1/25, but we're talking about a small portion of that small portion, so.
Right,
can-
and that
we
would be
can work with
something that
that.
we'd have to, I guess, figure that part out.
Jeff, on your drawing, you've got it way to the back of that property. It can go anywhere, right? I mean,
Yes.
I think if it went to the front of that property, be closer to water
That's up to you
and,
guys.
yeah, closer to
then
water,
there's
closer to
still
walking
some
trail.
possibility of farming that back part.
Well, and that's what we thought about that initially was if we put it towards the back, we're not wasting any space as we can grow back out. If that makes sense. I mean, we might have it mowed and be just open grass, but if it's in the back, we can develop from the back, so we're not wasting anything because as you get further away, now we're just, I don't know. That's just initially, that's what we was talking about. That way that's developed and then, if we want to add pavilions or anything as we go, we're not on the backside of it, just in a parking lot. If that makes sense.
If we were to further develop Lincoln Park and keep pushing to the north, if you have this blocker in the way called the dog park, you're gonna have this space behind it that becomes kind of a dead space.
Yeah, well, you
For
could,
future
Yeah.
use of who knows
yeah,
what.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
either turn it the other way and not take as much.
Well, that was another option,
We
running
talked
it
about that too.
along the tree line. You could
Yeah.
run it north,
mean,
And
south.
the water's right
just
there because
thinking-
they had a meter there from when the
That's what I
Muskets had
mean, yeah.
sprinkler
Yeah.
system.
Right.
So it's close anyway.
Right, I'm thinking in terms of, the trail being there, people walk their dogs on the
Mhm.
trail and then go in there. There's parking available right there. We wouldn't have to worry about additional parking.
Yeah, I think we could look at north, south, east, west, further
I mean, it's
this way,
something that
further that
happens,
way.
right.
Yeah.
So it's not really a big deal now anyway. So, yeah.
Right.
That was just a preliminary guess that I
Okay.
put out there. And as far as the water, I was gonna, if this all goes through and we're all good with it, instead of water happening in phase 2, I think we would have it in phase 1.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? It's already gonna be in use,
I
right?
think so,
And,
yeah.
combination, human and dog fountain combinations both,
Who
right?
cares
Not that
about
they're
human?
sharing on the same goal, but separate goals.
So we've already been, we've met with them and the Parks Committee's obviously been in favor of this for years. And do we just want to keep working like we have been and then come up with a more tight-knit plan? Or you just got to tell us how we want to move forward? I mean, obviously, I'm in favor of it.
I think it's kind of up to those guys, how they want to proceed. If they want to do a little fundraising, see where you get
Yeah.
in the short term and then, say, hey, guys, we're doing really well. We'd like to start such and
That's
such a
fine.
date.
I mean, no one's
All
gonna
you gotta do is reach
anything.
out and let us know, because,
Just so that they know that we're not against it.
right.
Yeah, I mean, you have.
Yeah, because
our
I think from a
endorsement.
public
Yeah.
image, if you will, where, if we begin some fundraising for a dog park and then it never happens, somebody's gonna ask. All right, so who's got the
Yeah.
funds? And I'm gonna say,
Right.
Mandy does. You're gonna say, Kurt's got it. Kurt's gonna say, no, Kyle's got it. But anyway, so again, we can do that. I just know the optics of it. The questions will begin to be asked of y'all. Once we start advertising for the fundraiser and what the funds are going to be used for. So we don't want to have a disconnect with
Right.
what we're thinking, or we talked to Rick and he was never heard about it before, blah, blah, blah. We know better. So
No,
just give us a hard something, we can wait, we can, start. I
Would you
mean,
feel more comfortable if we had a motion on our books to
I think we should.
Probably.
Yeah.
pursue the
think we should.
project or something like that? We could,
I would entertain the motion to adopt the proposal from Ultrasite to move forward on the dog park with adjustments as needed.
So moved. Put a monetary value.
Right. I don't think we're there
Just that
yet.
We're giving them the nod.
Yeah,
to
this would
move
be us saying, we're gonna do this project.
Yeah.
And when we get more specifics, we'll hammer those out at
Yeah.
a meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to getting a dog park.
and Mike, thank you so much
Yeah,
for this offer.
thank you.
This is
People are gonna be really excited
amazing.
about this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These are specifications and install.
I wrote them in a small part, so you can
As we go, so.
Perfect.
all the equipment on the specs, anything that you know about this. is in there.
And if you want to leave some of the extra handouts, with the, you can just leave them on the corner there or something.
I've got this.
Yeah, you
Thank
did.
you.
I got mine too.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
thanks, Mike. That's wonderful.
the copy. Yeah, yeah.
Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. The next item is the YMCA pool report. Have we heard anything from the Y lately?
No, I touched base with them on Monday, asking for the report. They were supposed to have, actually, I touched base on Tuesday. They were supposed to have it for me on Monday. Haven't heard from them. They said that they were still working on it and they'd get it to me. I told them I needed it by the end of last week for packet. And I still don't have anything, so, right.
As is tradition. Okay. And then public comments, anything for the order? Hearing none, I will adjourn at 6:17.
Okay, thank you. We will circle around now and start with the Finance Committee up next.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Call the Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:18. Present are myself, Honabet, Reinecker, Schwarzkopf, and Peel. There is no old business. Under new business. Make a motion to approve prior month's meeting minutes from July 15th, 2024.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? CD information, just again, we've got a ways to go here. We will have two CDs due on 10/24. We have 4 CDs due on 11/16 and then 2 more CDs due on 12/20. So those will be coming up later in the year, and we'll let that get a little closer and get current rates and make a decision on those. On the financial dashboard, on the income, as per fiscal year and year-to-date budget, we're actually down 1% on income, but there are no real estate taxes reflected in that at this point. So we're pretty close on our income projections. On the expense, we're up to the good 17%, so we're actually to the good about $943,000 at this point. Hero Fund, USA grant approval. Bill, you want to take that?
I'll split it with Chief over here.
So, we're asking for a grant so we can purchase. We're asking to apply for a grant so we can purchase a drone used for, very similar to the one they used in Prairie to Rocher to, find the man that was lost in the cornfield. We feel we'd have significant need for that here. Also, a lot of towns use it to monitor like picnics and stuff. They'll get it up and they'll fly it around and monitor picnics, look for fights and different things. I just think it'd be useful for the police department.
The grant is a 50/50 match.
50/50.
That's what my question was, 50/50. What kind of training do we have to go through to have somebody to man this, or would the whole force be trained in it?
I would pick a specific person, and when you purchase the drone, it comes with training. But there's also some training through SILAC, which is the department that trains the police officers. I think we pay $100 a year for that. They have some drone training also as far as the legal side of it. So I'd be looking to do both.
estimated cost of a drone, 17.
This particular drone, which is the medium, the in-between, is 14,535.99. So about $15,000.
What
The one
about,
above this was 37,000, the one under it was 8.
what about that extra monitor at the back, at $39.99?
Very last page, Jim.
I hadn't really looked at that.
Do we need to pick anything out or do we just need to say, let's try to get a grant and see how we?
Well, that's what we were looking for. is
He's
the
just looking for approval to
Approval
apply for
to
the
get the grant. This other one is just to show you what we're kind of looking at as far as the drone process. This particular drone that we're talking about has heat vision and it has, I can talk to the person. So say they're in a situation and say, hey, stay right here. It has a one-way communication device on it. So it's pretty cool.
So at this point, you're just looking for approval to apply for the
Apply for the
grant,
grant, yes.
and it's a 50-50 match.
It's 50-50 match.
Okay, I would make a motion that we apply for the Hero Fund USA grant and see where it goes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Another grant, Regional Site Readiness Grant.
Yes, this is a big one. So this is the one that I've been talking about in my Friday updates. The Regional Site Readiness Grant, the awards are anywhere from $250,000 to $3 million that we could use for our Redbud Business Park project. Previously, we thought that you had to develop all 50 acres because this grant is only available for 50 acres or more. But because our phase 1 development includes building the roadway that will make access to the remaining 50 acres, we are eligible to apply for that grant. So I would like permission to apply and hopefully get $3 million.
Yes.
I'm optimistic.
Thank you.
Again, I would make a motion that we apply for the grant. I would think anything that we get's a bonus at this point.
Yep, second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? All those favors signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Regional Site Readiness Grant Program. I should have just let you run Finance Committee. You want to go through City Hall cleaning folks?
So this is the 3 different vendors that we have, given us quotes for City Hall cleaning. The termination of Janet King was previously approved. Termination letter has been sent to them. They needed to receive that by August 21st. So we are looking at this, needing an approval for somebody, moving forward in September. They would start approximately September 21st, the week thereof. Of the 3 quotes that we received, I just kind of did a comparison out there. Do you guys have any questions about either of those or?
Which one would you in favor of?
Based on the quotes that we have here, I think I would be in favor of the reflections, windows and floors.
Is there contracts involved here or just month to month?
So it can really be whatever we want. If we do approve someone, they'll obviously have to go through a background check. I was going to see if Ricky could have like a confidentiality agreement drawn up for us since it will be with city and the police department cleaning areas.
I mean, I'm just, my thought is if you choose one of these and it just doesn't work out in 6 months, we can move on and you know, if at some point it would be to our advantage to have a contract, you know, a lower price or a lower, you know, then maybe, but if we could do it month to month.
Okay. I don't anticipate the prices changing based on the contract, but I can ask. Because that's something that I didn't ask. Really the only difference between all of them were you know, whether we were gonna supply all of the chemicals, cleaning supplies, that sort of thing, or if they were. That's really where the additional funds would come in at. But,
What do we currently do?
it's a good question. They, we do have cleaning supplies. I don't think they're being utilized. But I know, so they have to be either bringing them in or just not using them.
I mean, I guess my question will be, is it worth us spending time to make sure all that stuff's here? Or you just want to let the cleaning people take care of it and they know what they need and
I would approve the latter. Like I would rather them be responsible for getting whatever
would think that
cleaners
would
that they need
make
and
more
whatever
sense.
products. Instead of
absolutely.
me being the middleman between that.
Big difference, yeah.
yeah.
Jill, the only thing I'm seeing differently, other than again, supplying supplies and so forth, is the Reflections are proposing just one person to clean. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you see that being an issue or not?
Compared to what we have right now, no.
Okay.
That, I do believe they have the most extensive cleaning experience of the
Okay.
three.
All right.
That individual used to clean nursing homes and hospital settings, so it's very used to doing all the sanitation top to bottom. And he says that he would like to do it by himself. More so, if he can get somebody else, great, but I think he's pretty particular on what he wants done.
The other question I have, the initial clean, is that an option or is that something?
No, that's not gonna be an option, just due to the amount of neglect I think that we've seen throughout the years. It's going to take a lot for somebody to come in here. They won't just be able to vacuum the floors and dust off the countertops. They're really gonna have to come in and do an extensive clean, kind of top to bottom.
Now,
And that's gonna take more time no matter who we.
the other two didn't,
Oh, yes, they said that's where the hourly rate came in, as far as the optimal clean. That is the hourly rate. It would be in addition to whatever our monthly cost would be.
Yeah, you spelled it out at $35 an hour, so you were looking at the
Yeah.
other two vendors. Yeah.
okay, I thought that was just for that one vendor. You're talking that's for anybody that we,
That is their hourly rate, what they would cost for additional cleaning. So if we have a special project, if the floors need to be,
so the first couple months, it's gonna be more money.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been here 6 months.
Really?
Okay, do we have a motion on the cleaning services?
I'll make a motion for that we use Reflections window and floors for a new cleaning service.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to use Reflections, windows and floors. Pretty close on the rates, but again, the initial clean may be a little bit of an extra. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have in our packets a request from Kristen Ron. Apparently, they have decided on an appraiser, the way I understand this, and she's asking to proceed with the financing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I believe that was one of our conditions of the financing, is that she had an appraiser in place, if I remember correctly,
We had an
Yeah.
appraisal,
appraisal.
and an appraisal.
and the
We actually-
appraisal.
That we actually have an
Yeah.
appraisal.
Okay,
Rodney, the next page in your packet's the actual motion that came through council that was included in your packet, so you can use that for reference.
I don't see it in mine.
I didn't get that.
see it in mine. No. Oh, yeah, I do find, okay, I see it now, yeah,
Where is it?
right behind it,
Oh,
special meeting.
under special meeting, that's what we're looking at.
Certified commercial appraisal.
So that is the motion that was adopted. We've almost got to stay with it, I believe.
Well, and then two, when she gave us an estimate at, economic development was gonna gonna be a cost approximately of $1,100,000. Well, she has 300,000 in it and we would put 550, so it's 850. So that means she's gonna need to put 250,000 of her own money in it anyway. So why doesn't she start with that 250? And then if we go ahead and get the appraisal, then we can reimburse her for any invoices received. But she's already paid.
Yeah, it'd be a drawdown, so if she can present those.
Yeah.
that
So,
As soon as she presents those, we could get that moving.
right.
But I think according to what we could discuss, we shouldn't do anything until we have an appraisal in hand.
Okay,
I mean, just having I understand she has an appraiser.
but
but
that's
that
not the
doesn't- we don't
paper
know what it's
appraisal.
Gonna come in at.
Yeah, that's not what we approved yet.
And I will tell you this, the appraisal is probably gonna take at least 30 days.
Well, she said 60, so.
Yeah.
60.
It's just from what I'm seeing
Yeah.
take place right now, it's gonna take at least 30 days, so. Okay, so do we need to inform her then that once the appraisal is in place? Okay, right. And again, that's the motion that was adopted, so. Okay, moving on, grocery sales tax discussion only. Mayor, you want to take this?
I'll try taking this one, yeah. There are a few handouts in your package. You have a spreadsheet with a grid, there's a sample ordinance, and there's a memo dated August 5th from Brad Cole. As you are aware, the governor signed a bill, and I believe it was like August 6th or so, to repeal the grocery tax effective January 1st, 2026. Part of the negotiation process in Springfield was to give cities like ours the ability to put a tax in place without a levy to replace these dollars. As you can see for us, we're talking about, maybe upwards of $100,000 we would be going without come 2026. This is nothing we have to act on tonight. Just wanted to start some conversations. If you have some other questions, if you need some other data, any questions about the sample ordinance that IML has presented to municipalities, anything about the email from Brad Cole, just kind of wanted to open it up for a little bit of discussion at this point.
Ellie. How will these taxes be dispersed? They'll still go to the state?
Yes,
They're gonna charge us to.
Yes,
collect that tax
that's,
first?
okay, that's a good point here. My understanding is right now, when they're collected here, they go to Springfield and they pass through dollar for dollar. Under this new system, since it's a tax we've instituted, it will be collected, it will go to Springfield, they'll take their cut out of it, and I do not remember the percentage. And then we will get most of it
I
back.
thought it was 0.25.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think the numbers being tossed around were that the state would end up with about $5 million out of this deal. When you,
And look like the heroes.
yes, yes. So to answer your question, we are not going to get dollar for dollar, even what we are getting now.
Yeah.
So even if dollar for dollar, it's $100,000 today, it would be, maybe 98.5 in the future because of the, unless that gets repealed, change something, we're not there yet, but.
And according to what I'm reading here, it is a 1% grocery tax. And that's set by the state. That's the amount that you can charge. Is that correct?
Yes,
That-
yes.
What do they consider grocery?
I was gonna ask. you
Well,
the
okay,
same
that-
On this chart,
There's
what
two
is it?
different items here they've got included there in the proposal, in the ordinance. The groceries themselves and anybody supplying appears to me.
I mean, not everything in the stores right now are at the 1% level.
Correct. And that has become, we have been trying to get some data on that. I've literally been keeping IGA receipts every time I go to the store, trying to figure some of this out myself. Because some of this, I mean, to be honest, I bought a rotisserie chicken one time and, that was taxed at a different the higher rate than the
Yeah.
regular groceries are.
But the others would just be a general sales tax, so we're still gonna get our portion of that.
Yes, that's my understanding. But to break those numbers down, that has become, Liz tried, I've tried, IML has tried. It just, for some reason,
So-
those numbers have become elusive. It's amazing.
So nobody has defined what is considered a grocery.
Oh, no, that's actually by state statute, right? I
Right.
mean, if you go to IGA, I mean, everything is tagged in this, electronically, which is at the 1% rate, which is at the other rate.
Is it,
All it will affect is the 1%.
so is it only IGA and those type of stores, or is it Motomart that has
If it's,
groceries too there?
see, that's packaged stuff though, so I'm not quite sure if I bought a package of cheese crackers there, if that's considered a convenience item and
But they-
taxed at a
but they have
higher.
Bread too, and.
Oh, they do have bread, that's right.
And the Dollar General. would-
Yes, your milk, okay, that's a good point, milk, yeah. If you
Well,
bought,
See, I think.
it's really item by item, you almost have to.
See, I think
elaborate.
that's included in this section 3 of the ordinance.
Okay. On that, page 2 of 3, Mike, number, section 3.
With an incident to making those sales of service, transport, groceries, with an incident to a sale
Yeah.
of service.
But you're right, Ben, I mean, we think of IGA, but food is sold at a variety of places around
Yeah.
town.
I was just trying to figure out on the dollars that you've presented us with, like
Mhm.
1% of food, 1% of the drink. I mean, I can't believe it's 1% of every one of these or these rows, right?
Well, actually, this food, that is the one, that is the that's what they've already collected.
Okay,
That's
that
just
is
the tax.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I don't have to worry about anything else on here besides the
Correct.
food. Okay,
correct. That is our understanding of these numbers.
okay. That's what I was wondering.
And we don't have to actually act on it till October of next year.
Yeah, correct, we've got some time, but it's one of these things, if we're gonna do it, to get it in place, these all have to be filed. You've got you've got 1,294 municipalities in the state facing the same thing. So getting it worked through would probably be a good idea.
So regardless, even if we say we're gonna put the 1% on it, we're only getting 3/4 of that percent back.
That's.
0.75 total.
right.
Even if we pass the 1%, we're only getting 0.75 back
No,
because
not-
they're getting their
No, not that much.
0.25 in Springfield.
That's the way I understood it, but I may be wrong.
It's
I don't-
if it's 2.5% of the 1%. We're gonna get most of the money back.
So
But there will be a
out of
cut.
$1, they get 2.5 cents.
Yes, that's a better way to state it.
Okay.
Okay, I was
So
under
it's
the
not
impression they were taking 1/4 of the our 1%.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't.
that's what I.
Do the decimal one
heard.
more time.
This is really
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, they get 2.5.
And again, it's just for discussion.
it
at
is
this
for
point.
discussion. I was just curious if you had more questions, if we can try and get more data. Like I said, we've been trying for months, as soon as this came out, to start to tease out some of this stuff.
Okay, so we'll table that and leave it on the agenda for future.
Okay.
Okay, any public comments or anything for the good of the city? It was a long-winded finance meeting, so we'll adjourn finance at 6:40.
Okay, next up is personnel.
All right, I call the personnel committee to order at 6:40. I have myself, Peel, Dojan, Giebert, and Reinecker here. We have no old business. Under new business, I make a motion to approve prior month's meeting minutes of July 15th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next up, we have a recommendation to end Liz Cowell's 6-month probationary period effective September 6th, 2024. Make that a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Next up, we have the resignation of Karen Youngie as a crossing guard effective May 16th, 2024. Looks like we're just retroactively going back. I make a motion that we accept the resignation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you for your time in doing this crossing guard. And any public comments, anything for the good of the city?
John, how are we doing on finance crossing guard?
Not well.
No.
You're doing a pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good, well, only in the mornings. Now, we're covering it for right now, but yeah, we're having a hard time. I've got no response. So no adequate response, put it that way.
I noticed on Facebook. Somebody was asking what the rate of pay was, so that might not hurt put that in there.
We can do that.
Okay.
I don't think that anybody that's gonna do it, it's gonna be for the pay. It's gonna be more of a
Right.
public service. Keep the kids safe. So,
We tossed some other ideas around this morning at staff meeting and maybe some other angles to publicize this or other groups to reach out to. So we're gonna try a couple other things.
Anything else? Hearing none, I'll close the personnel committee at 6:41.
Okay, next up, public health and safety.
Okay, I'll call it Public Health and Safety at 6:41. Myself, Reinecker, Giebert, Nevoy, and Dojan are all present. No old business. Under new business, I'll make a motion. We approve the Monday, July 15th, 2024 minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Departmental activity report. You've all got a copy of it in your packets. Anybody got any questions for John? None. We'll move on to public comments. Anything for the good of the city? Nothing. We'll adjourn public health and safety at 6:41.
Okay, thank you. Next up is cultural committee.
I'll call a cultural committee to order at 6:41. Myself, Damon, Reinecker, Hebert, and Dojan are all present. We have no old business. First on the agenda is approving the prior month's meeting minutes, July 15th, 2024. I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second, St. John's Lutheran School request for the cross-country team to use Lincoln Park. Less fees for a meet on September 6th, 2024 from 4 to 7 p.m. I'd like to make a motion. We accept it.
Second.
One question I have. When they run a meet like that, is the insurance for anybody that would get hurt, is that from their insurance or the city's?
I think when they do square collection, we ask for a certificate. Have we been asking for certificates when folks have,
Make
Events.
Uses of our park building, which is normally open. There's that guy sitting next to you.
yeah,
He's playing a dumb.
That wouldn't be any different from an organization, just,
Right.
you know.
What's the
Anybody
difference?
going out there and
like the
using the
church,
park.
we're
whatever.
actually having a
I don't
math
see
down
anything.
there, we don't, you know.
yeah,
Okay.
that's true. It's park usage.
Right.
Okay, I was just wondering since it was an official request if
No,
they're,
no, it's still a valid question.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, if
So-
you go jog through there tonight and hurt yourself, I guess it's a similar situation. It's a public park.
sure,
Okay.
okay.
They
Good
actually
question.
go off of our property too, they go into,
Oh, that's true.
go to, you know,
They're using some of the Swick
Colleges,
property to
yeah.
make their
Right.
circles.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we accept it.
second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, David Freeze has a request to use Rats Pavilion Park number 1. Less fees for the Women's Leadership Initiative Scavenger Hunt on September 28th, 2024 from 1 to 4 p.m. I make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The Redbud Beautification Committee has a request to collect at the four-way stop on November 15th, 2024 from 2 to 5 p.m. and November 16th, 2024 from 8 to 12 p.m. I'd like to make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The YMCA requests to reserve the Rats Park soccer fields on. Had this here, and there was a bunch of dates.
Dates stated.
Yeah, do you just want me to say date stated or? Okay, on their dates stated in the email to Christy Cooper. I'd like to make a motion that we accept their request.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The last one, I would like to let,
Egan?
yep,
Okay, so I went through in your package, you can see all the different comparisons that I gathered for the potential of a new website developer. the first one revised, it's kind of a national group. That's what they do. They just do city government websites. 618 Creative, does that say 619? That's supposed to say 618 Creative. They are Waterloo and Redbud area. They are a marketing firm. This is some things that they do on a regular basis for their business. Westfield Designs, that is Andrew Stellhorn. He gave us a quote. And New Adventure is also from the Waterloo area. Similar to 618 Creative, and they are a marketing firm that specializes in these sort of things. So based on the different, this was really difficult because it was not an apples to apples comparison. Everything was a little bit different depending on who you went with. Based on some conversations that I've had with just the public in general, we'd like a rebrand of the city, a rebrand of our logo, easier access for our website. I would like to develop more of a business section on our page for business owners, incentives, funding opportunities, those types of things. And then also just making sure that we keep the public informed in an easily searchable format. And I think that's our website right now. Christy's been doing an absolutely wonderful job, but it's a Weebly site that we can only have so many options on. So of all of these, I'm open for questions. I can tell you which ones that I would prefer. After speaking with all of them individually and thinking of what we can get the most bang for our buck. Kind of up to you. If you have any questions.
I guess, excuse me. As far as rebranding, I would be curious what you're talking.
So I think just a new logo in general, just kind of a refresh. I think we've had the lamppost logo for, I don't know how long. Getting people a little bit more excited. The chamber recently redid their website. Andrew Stellhorn did theirs, did a very nice job on it. I'm just trying to get more people to utilize the website and be involved in the city. And one of the biggest marketing things that we have is our website for businesses looking at us, coming to go in and look at, do they want to bring their business to Redbud with our new Redbud Business Park? New families coming in. Once you're starting to search the area, like what kind of amenities do you have? What does the city offer? That's kind of what I would like to make a little bit easier to navigate on our website and a little bit more enticing and more marketable.
I guess my question would be as far as rebranding or relogo, I think we would want input from the public.
Mhm.
To maybe, have an example or two of what you're talking about and have it in the paper or Facebook or wherever and let them kind of, rather than just one or two people deciding this is what we want years ago,
And I think we can absolutely do that. I think it would be an easier process for all of us if we could narrow it down.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Here's the couple that we're looking
Right.
at, you, Redbud, you tell us what you
No,
like.
I agree with that.
Because that's one of the things
Two-
with the marketing is that.
Two or maybe three at the most.
Yes, but they would want our input first on giving that direction, before getting too many people involved. Because then
Yeah.
it gets a little difficult.
I know I asked you for the meeting and I don't know if you could ask one of these guys if there's any way to have a count on how many people go to our website, like on a monthly basis, daily basis, annual basis, whatever. And that would give us some kind of direction as we move forward with improving the website. Has it done us any good? Are we getting the bang for our buck?
Sure.
I mean, if we got 50 people a month now going to it and we got 150 after this, absolutely, if there's, I don't know if there's some way to,
I'll look, I don't know.
Yeah.
What Weebly has available, but.
I mean, I know a lot of websites have say, we've gotten so many hits and, I don't know how they do that. The only other thing, in my opinion, I would like to keep it with a local person if that's an option for us.
I would too.
I don't know if he has the ability to do some of the other things these other people are saying they're gonna do.
As far as, are you talking about Andrew versus 618 and New Adventure?
Yeah,
Yeah, so with 618 New Adventure, this is their business. That's what they do on a full-time scale. I think Andrew's sites are fantastic. But it's not something that he would be solely working on all the time. He's got a different, like another job that he does on a regular basis.
Right.
Part of this package and building all of the different sites and whatnot, it would entail updates, making sure our plugins always work, making sure that our links are still accurate, like all of those types of things. All of them service that on a regular basis. I think the availability of 618 and New Adventure, I think would be greater than they could, they would make this their full-time job and their full-time project. Whereas I don't know if Andrew has the capability.
Well, but
to do that.
they've got another 3,000 accounts too that they're taking care of.
Sure,
Yeah.
maybe, I have no idea. I think
You know, I
that
don't know how many they
might
have,
be
but
a big
I mean,
amount, but
we're not gonna be their only account.
no,
Right.
no. Nor
Yeah.
are we Andrews either.
Yeah.
But like on 618, you said that there is, one of the principals is from Redbud.
Yes,
Right,
yeah,
so-
their graphic designer is from Redbud. And she is also, that's kind of a part of their package deal they've thrown in. She would do a new photo shoot of like our downtown area and some of our, maybe just getting updated pictures up on our website. To market it a little bit.
So is 618 the one that you're wanting to move
If
forward with?
I had a choice
if
of
you
them,
pick.
that's the one that I would prefer.
And the way she explained it to me too, was like, at least with 618, it's ours. With New Adventure, it's their.
Yeah, so their hosting packages, with 618, they would allow us to go in and like, if we have a meeting agenda that we need to post quickly and get that up on the website, we would have the ability to do that. With New Adventure, we would not be able to have any access or local control of our website. We'd have to email them to make any kind of edits or updates. I just don't think that's feasible for us. I think we've got too much stuff going on that we'd like to get out there quickly.
Jill, did you talk about timelines with any of these vendors? What we're looking at, if we told them go in 2 weeks, how long would we talk?
It's gonna take a few months. I would say from start to finish, New Adventure said 2 months. I think that's pretty quick. Because there's a lot of graphics and
Mhm.
images and content that need to be revamped and kind of gone through to make sure everything is accurate. I would anticipate it being more like a 3-month project,
At least.
once we hit go.
So with regards to this, everything's always getting updated. Is this a one-time price and then we hire them annually to keep everything updated at a cheaper rate?
So for 618 Westfield New Adventure, the build out cost is up top. The annual support plan is
Okay,
what
gotcha.
what we would pay afterwards. On an annual basis,
I gotcha.
for them to keep the website fully functioning, whatnot.
Yeah, this is a one-time.
Yeah.
Big
Overhaul.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Andrew hosts my website and we update it every week because of the lot sales and stuff. And I've had very good luck with him. He updates it for us and so forth. So
Good.
got videos and photographs and everything that he updates for us all the time. For what
I
it's
mean,
worth.
the other question I would have if we went with the Westfield. And, obviously he's a whole lot less money than,
Yeah,
than the
absolutely.
618. If we went with him for a 6-month or a 1-year trial basis, would that change, if he's got us updated more from where we are right now, would that change the bids from these other guys, do you think, or do you think they would stay basically? I guess what I'm asking is if our investment with him, would that come back and save us a little money in a year from now, maybe?
No, because the 618 New Adventure,
I
they would
know.
only host sites that they.
Yeah,
create.
Well, I'm just looking at the rebrand.
Yeah,
You know,
They're just gonna.
So
it's
that
only
is the other thing.
$600.
anything anybody did. They're gonna scrap it.
their own.
So that is the other thing, in talking with Andrew, he said, he would be more than willing to come up with a logo or two to give us. It's not something that he regularly does on a regular basis. He suggested contracting that out to another marketing firm, which is kind of what we would be doing here with 618 or New Adventure. So those two companies are kind of like the marketing, all-inclusive, start to finish. This is the package deal And I think Andrew's like a piece of it.
Who currently hosts our, site? Like who currently is,
Weebly, we pay an annual fee to Weebly.
okay. And so like right now, Christie's time per week with the website is approximately,
So she gives at least about 7 hours per week. I estimated out it's about $7,000 a year that she's spending just on doing updates and getting information up there, making sure everything's in the right location. But she's not able to troubleshoot a plugin error or, if a link stops working. That's not really her forte. That's not, you need somebody with a lot more experience, I think, to be able to do that. And she's done an absolute wonderful job. But she will be the first one to also tell you she is not a web designer.
and with Andrews, since his annual support plan's way less than everybody else, would he be doing that with the links and that? He would still be updating and making sure that all the links work?
Yes, that's what he would be doing.
I don't know, it just scares me. The price is the differential is so great that
Right.
I'm just scared of what we would get.
Well,
Well, and I
you
think,
can look at it a couple different ways. Maybe he's a local guy cutting us one hell of a deal because he wants to design our website. I don't know.
I just think the money invested, we're going to get a much deeper, broader product in the end, depending on the amount of money we put into this. Because this is our electronic front door.
it
This
is.
is what people are going to see when they get on the web and look for Redbud.
And I think too, like I mentioned before with the new visitors guide, how much of an impact that made with everybody was like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. It looks really neat. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do for the website. And in that, with the logo rebrand, if we would do a logo, there's the whole branding package that needs to go with that, like specifying what kind of font, what's the image quality, how many pixels can it be, all that. That is all prepared and given to us with the two marketing firms. Andrew said that he personally does not do that. He would contract it out with somebody else. But he can give us an idea of a couple logos if we wanted.
Do we have a current contract with the people that we're with now?
We do, it
And when
expires
set up?
in September, but we're able to do a bi-monthly plan until we decide to go with somebody else.
With,
Right now, we've been paying annually though.
with the three that we're kind of narrowed down to, or maybe narrowed down to, is there any difference in the amount of Christie's time with any of those three?
Yes, so I think all of the images and graphics and what we have right now, the two 618 Creative and New Adventure, they're going to completely just start from scratch. The Westfields, he said that he would take those and it'd be basically taking our content, what we have right now, and putting it into a new template.
So just for instance, on the photos and graphics line, 618 would come down, take photos. If we went with Westfield, he would just be using some stock photos of a meeting or stock photos or reusing photos we've already got. Or we would be forced to hire a photographer to come in. So there could be some hidden costs here with what appears to be the lower cost at this point.
And then there's also under the Westfield Designs, like built-in forms, like some of this stuff's already on there. And then what would his additional cost be then?
Depends on.
I
the
mean,
plugin.
yeah, he's cheaper, but he's not doing as many services either.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, could you provide a list of a few websites that both of these guys,
They're on there.
They're on there.
I missed it.
The backside of that first sheet.
In purple down below, I missed it too.
Here?
Yeah,
The profile
Ah.
links.
The Westfield did Chambers.
Yes, he did. New Adventure, they do Smithton, I know. They had about 3 or 4 locally. I can't remember the others off the top of my head right now.
I mean, I guess, is this something you need an answer on tonight?
I don't necessarily need an answer tonight. I would like to still move forward on the project at some
Well-
respect. But if you have other questions and you want other things
Here's what I
answered,
propose, that we just put it on the regular meeting agenda.
okay, for the council.
and give us a couple weeks to
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of explore some of this? Because I didn't see that here. That would give us an opportunity to kind of look at some of it and
Yeah,
and
and I
we could
think,
still get it approved at the meeting.
yeah, and I think talking to, their clients and the current services that they provided, I can have them give us a couple names of people locally that they've worked with their websites, and you can talk to them about their experiences with
Yeah.
it.
Just, yeah, I'd feel more comfortable if I explored it a little bit,
yeah.
see what they're offering.
I would much rather you guys all be on the same page with the decision and take your time to get there, so.
And another question I asked Susan before the meeting started tonight, and we might want to try and figure that out. If we could use hotel motel tax to
So-
support this, because it would be tourism.
Exactly, yeah. There was a lot of different areas where Liz was able to identify where we would have enough funding to cover any of these.
And this is one of them.
I'm quite sure you asked, but like 618 Creative. Have they done any government websites before?
They have not given me any government websites as a sample.
Okay.
So I can't say that they haven't, but I'm not aware of any if they have.
Okay,
They did, shoot, now I'm gonna get them mixed up. I don't want to misspeak. I know Comwell. That might be New Adventure.
I do think Comwell's New Adventure, Jill. That
Yeah,
sounds
I
right.
think so too. So 618 Creative, they've done like Jabot.
Yeah.
CTS or CCSI, sorry, Sidebar Technologies, Turning Point, they're local here
Okay.
in town. You could ask them if anybody goes to that chiropractor.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
You've
a-
got- You've got 618 Creative Waterloo / Redbud. Is there part of their group from Redbud?
Yes, so their graphic designer is Cynthia Mollett, Matt Mollett's wife. And so she does all of the artwork and graphic design. The other two business partners in that group are from Waterloo.
I mean, I'd be in favor of just moving it to the regular meeting and vote on it there.
You guys dig into it a little bit more. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate the consideration.
Do I need to do anything then? Okay.
We'll just expect it on the council agenda then as a standalone item.
Any other public comments, anything else for the good of the city?
I got one thing. Next week, on the next Monday, we'll start on the mural, the foundation. So there will be a painter will be here at 8:30 in the morning, so they should be starting on this mural side of the burn end
They say how long it'd take?
week.
Oh, okay,
Yep, should be 1 week and be done.
good. Thanks.
Yep.
With that, I'll close the cultural committee at 7:03 PM.
Okay, Kurt, you're up next with Public Works.
I call Public Works at 7:03 with myself, Dojan, Honabut, Schwarzkopf, Reinicker, all present. Underneath the old business, there is no power plant report or utility report. Josh does have in here a request for a service study proposal. Apparently he had budgeted $35,000 for this. Looks like it's been performed in the past. He said would like to request a not to exceed 27.5 just to account for any additional costs that may come up for this study.
What are we trying to find? Or
I don't know for sure. I guess,
I mean, I guess my question would be, what are we studying?
I haven't had a
know
chance to
it's
talk to
great,
Josh
but
about this much. I
It's
really haven't.
our electric rates, our electric costs, and make sure that we're competitive, I believe is what the goal was. They did the same, they did the same thing, was it in Freeburg and one other municipality recently?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
So
they're like-
what does that mean though, I guess? Because I didn't know we actually set any rate. I thought we got that.
Yes, in our ordinances, our base rate is 8.5 cents per kilowatt, and then
Yeah.
that PPA fluctuates from month to month, but it's just looking at that whole picture if they were
Okay,
were correct.
I mean, does,
Is that something that,
He's talked about it in
IMA.
the past.
huh?
He's talked about.
no, I
this
know
in
he
the
has.
past.
I know he has. He's been brought it up and I guess.
But BHMG, is that not something they would provide or
I don't believe so, other he would have
Okay.
pursued that. Yeah.
I'm just curious?
And on the
I
water
think what
side,
we'll do later, let's put this on, not on the
Put on council.
Council.
put on council.
Okay,
And then that way Josh can answer more questions there and then we make
yeah.
a decision at that time.
As opposed to what's coming up next, water and sewer, that's just a comment, but that one is included in our memberships to things that they'll come in
Right.
and do
right.
that. This is the one that there would actually be a cost
Right.
involved.
So I think with that, let's just move it on to that.
That's fine.
Okay. So basically under new business, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the prior month's meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is Derek Allen's step increase of $1.25 an hour. I'd like to make that a motion that ends his 6-month probationary period.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Also recommendation to end, I should have done this 2 separate ways, I guess. First one was to step the increase of $1.25. Next one is the recommendation to end the 6-month probationary period, September 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is sell surplus vehicle, equipment's on Gov Deals. He's got a list there showing of all the vehicles that I guess they're wanting to get rid of. And equipment. So I'd like to make a motion that they allow them to go ahead and sell this stuff on Gov Deals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is a training request for Derek Allen and Joe Ledlow for Illinois Potable Water Supply Operators Association Conference. This request is, training request includes lap, travel, lodging, and food. And it does get them toward their certified operators training credits. I didn't turn my pages fast enough to see an amount in there or not. There it is.
$125. That's the room. I don't know if there's any registration fee.
Yeah, I don't think it's registration fee. It's just basically the cost of travel, lodging, and food.
Lodging and food.
So I make a motion, we approve this request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is power plant roof replacement. He's got a proposal here from Martin Roofing and Solar. Request authorization is for that. We did receive $13,922.28 from the insurance company, and $30,000 was also included in the budget for the repairs. Additional $59.50 that can be covered by contract fee budget line. So I guess the total price is $49,873 for this project.
What's, what did the insurance pay for? What was, do you know?
That was recent storm damage.
Right.
That last,
I'm just curious if the storm damaged the roof though, why are they only giving us $13,000 and it's costing 50 to put a roof on it?
it was degree of damage or the amount of damage, or that's a direct.
Sometimes they only do one side, whatever side. is
Yeah.
I
damaged.
don't know. I
Yeah.
just,
I don't know.
Jeff,
I didn't
you
get
know
a
any-
chance to talk to
Did you not?
Josh
Okay.
much, so I don't really have an answer. I mean, if you want, we can put that on a separate line item, but either way,
whatever you guys think, I mean, obviously it's gotta get fixed.
Right.
The way this reads, it sounds to me like the roof is shot. And
Yeah.
Right.
insurance only covered so much.
right. I mean, you'll find out more and more today. If your roof is, they come in and say, you need a new roof, they're not covering the whole thing anymore. I can tell you that's
So that's
happening all the
most
time.
obvious what's.
Yeah,
going on.
Yes,
Okay,
They prorated mine and
right.
they covered 10% or something. I'm like, oh.
Right.
okay.
So I'll make a motion, not to exceed 50,000, which is, he's got 49,873 here. So I make a motion, we approve roof replacement not to exceed 50,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next thing is, proposal from Woody's Municipal Supply for truck number 6 upgrades. I believe I don't know if everybody has this in front or not, but anyway, it's request for these proposals with, NT cost of 35,000. Said he had 40,000 in the budget for this split 5 ways. This is a planned upgrade of a replacement bed and new spreader of the existing truck. So we don't have to do a full replacement. Full replacement is approximately $100,000. So this will get our truck fleet in order for winter, and we have 4 trucks with spreaders.
So this is all going on the one truck?
Yes.
Just,
So basically this is upgrades to one of the trucks.
okay.
Or Yes.
Yeah, it's just number 6.
So basically we have a not to exceed cost of 35,000. So I make a motion, we approve the Woody's, the bid from Woody's Municipal Supply to upgrade truck number 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any other public comments? I move to adjourn at 7:10.
Okay, Alan, you get to wrap it up with zoning.
All right, zoning committee, I'll call to order at 7:10. Myself, Ebert, Schwarzkopf, Demond, and Nevoy, all present. Business park update, besides Jill's $3 million she's gonna get us. Jeff, do you have any other updates?
Just what I had my Friday. We've got, water and sewer permits are out at IPA. They've acknowledged receiving the water permit. That should be back around September 15th. We have not heard anything about sewer yet, so. Probably close to the end of September, we should be permitted, ready to go.
All right, on the new business, I'd like to make a motion to approve the prior month's meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Any public comments or anything for the good of the city?
I do have one thing, just a reminder that all public officials are invited next Monday, August 26th, 6 p.m. Greg Huss from Volkert will be down here to do a comprehensive plan workshop. So it's really imperative that as many of you can make it, please do.
I sent out the link with the information on it. There's an RSVP link. I'll send it again tomorrow in case you haven't had an opportunity to.
Send it Monday.
Huh?
Send it Monday.
I'll send you another reminder on Monday.
Do any of you know definitively that you cannot be here next Monday? Okay, good. So,
Oh, no, I should be.
okay, good. That sounds great.
As long as
Because this will begin our big planning process of the comprehensive plan, which is a big undertaking to take on. But that also positions us, when Jill gets ready to put together a $3 million grant, that gives us a basis to work on too. So that it's very helpful in the long run.
Okay, I will adjourn the zoning committee meeting at 7:12.
Okay, thank you all. We'll see you next Monday at 6 o'clock. Plan for that to be probably about a 2-hour meeting, Jeff. It could be that long, at least an hour. Okay, so bring your water bottles and some snacks.
Oh, okay. All right. There.